This time, with a fuel crisis beckoning, we ask who really is the cock of the month? Because it's not this guy. Well, not just him. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. With a little time on our hands, this weekend we decided it was time to change the tyres on our CB500X. Except there were queues all the way down the road, and more queues. What in God's name is going on? Oh, petrol. Yes, Britain's somewhat artificial fuel crisis has started to bite. And now it seems that just getting enough fuel to get to work at the hospital was going to be a major adventure. Although I think misadventure would probably be a more appropriate phrase. Here we are, in happier times, filling up before a ride out. No queues here, you see. And incidentally, topping up all three bikes only cost us about £30, which is about the limit which has been imposed on a lot of people now to calm them down and stop them buying fuel like the world was about to end. In one queue, I even saw a guy filling up his tank of his Mustang. Is he seriously trying to tell me that that car was his daily runabout and he was using it for work? Or was he just a selfish knob who was filling his tank up only to park the car on his drive for the rest of the week? I think that is probably more likely. In Britain, we like to occasionally use the phrase, keep calm and carry on. This seems like a bit of an empty tagline when these sort of things happen. I mean, it was the toilet roll crisis all over again, wasn't it? And to me, this whole episode has had the whiff of Dad's Army about it. Never mind the keep calm and carry on. It's rather been, don't panic, Captain Manning, as we've all turned into a nation of Corporal Joneses running around like headless chickens. Now myself, I have a journey of about 60 miles a day to and from the hospital where I work. And I've not panicked. I haven't run out and bought as much fuel as I could possibly carry, dragged jerry cans or done anything of that sort. When the fuel tanks looked a bit low, I've topped it up. And when I say a bit low, I mean below halfway or even lower. At the moment though, I would normally, I must say, run a little bit lower than that. Well, given the current crisis and the fact that a lot of petrol stations are now running on empty, I don't really fancy being marooned in the middle of the West Midlands. It's not my idea of a good afternoon. And let's face it, as a nation, we're going to be in a pretty shitty state if the people we rely on, like health workers, delivery drivers and so on, can't actually get fuel to get to work. So let's actually hang on to that tagline and actually keep calm and carry on. But not carry on all the way to the petrol station to fill our cars up. Unless, of course, you actually need to. For a biker, the situation is always somewhat different. Bikes generally have quite small petrol tanks, so when you go to the pumps, you always fill the things to the brim anyway. Because, let's face it, the range is usually fairly limited, which means a lot more trips to the petrol station if you've got a long commute. This isn't normally a problem, as long as the petrol stations have got fuel in them, which of course at the moment, often they have not. There's no doubt about it, calm heads would go a long way in this situation. But then, calm heads seem to have been in short supply of late. rather like toilet paper, and now it seems petrol. So let's ignore the right-wing press, the idiots on social media, and actually do what we can do best in Britain, and actually keep calm and carry on. And let's remember, both situations, if panic buying had not occurred, then these shortages would never actually happen. I do hope that gives everybody a bit of food for thought. And if it does give you some food for thought, why not like and subscribe? Oh, and one last thing, just to hammer home the point, here's a fuel tanker that we followed yesterday on the way to work. See, there's still fuel out there. The dead are not rising from their graves, and the world is not about to end. Well, I don't think so.